Stop! Imagine this. A sharp crack, a sudden cry from the other room, then silence. You rush over. It's your mom, your dad, or maybe yourself, collapsed on the floor, clutching a knee or a hip. The pain is unbearable. It's not just pain, it's the sound of a life breaking down from the inside. You don't think about it much until that moment. When joints betray you, when your own body feels like a trap. What if I told you that every day, millions of people face this silent enemy? Worn-out cartilage, invisible damage that steals freedom step by step. Not from a fall, not from accident, but from something we all ignore. Here's the truth. No one shouts out loud. Joints aren't supposed to just wear out because of age. It's not some cruel destiny. It's a slow, stealthy war inside your body. And the foods you eat? They either fuel the fire or fight back. The clock is ticking. Every bite you take either builds up your joints or tears them down. Let me be blunt. If you think joint pain is just normal aging, you're walking on a trap door. Because joints, like engines, need the right fuel. Without it, the cartilage, the cushion between bones, crumbles. It's not a small crack. It's a full-blown collapse waiting to happen. Remember your last moment of true freedom. Maybe it was bending down without a wince, or dancing at a family party. Imagine losing that, slowly, piece by piece. You don't want to be the person who watches life from the sidelines, who avoids stairs, who sits while others run. This is about reclaiming movement, power, dignity, not some far-off dream, right now. But here's the catch. The solution isn't inexpensive pills or complicated routines. It's on your plate. Yes, the simple, everyday foods that can actually help rebuild the very cartilage that's breaking down. Sounds too good to be true? That's what I thought too. But the science is clear. Nature has its own repair kit, and it's ready for you. So, listen closely. Because the secret to saving your joints and your freedom could be hiding in the meals you've already been ignoring. This isn't about getting old. This is about breaking the cycle. And it starts now. Meet George, 62, retired mechanic. Tough as nails, or at least he used to be. George loved working with his hands. For decades, he fixed engines, rebuilt cars, and never thought twice about pain. A little ache? Nothing to stop me, he'd say. But then it started. First, a dull throb in his knees after a long day. He shrugged it off. Just getting older, he told himself. Weeks passed. The ache grew sharper. He noticed the stairs at home, once climbed two at a time, now left him breathless and limping. One morning George woke up, tried to stand, and froze. His knees felt like concrete. I just stood up from the bed, and then nothing. My legs didn't listen. He tried to ignore it, told his wife, it's probably nothing serious. But it was serious. His doctor called it osteoarthritis, cartilage breakdown. The cushioning between his bones was thinning. George was shocked. I thought this only happened to old folks in nursing homes. The hardest part wasn't the diagnosis. It was the realization that his independence was slipping away. No more morning walks in the park. No more fixing things around the house. He felt trapped inside his own body, angry, frustrated. Then came the turning point. George met his old friend, Sam. Sam looked fit, active, almost like he was in his 40s. How do you do it? George asked. Sam smiled. I changed what I eat. It sounds simple, but it saved my knees. At first, George was skeptical. Food? You mean like some diet fad? No, it's about feeding your joints the right stuff. The stuff that actually helps rebuild cartilage. George was desperate enough to try. He started small. A spoonful of bone broth in the morning. Fresh fruits and vegetables packed with antioxidants. Fish rich in omega-3s. Within weeks, George noticed a shift. The stiffness softened. The pain took a back seat. One day, he bent down to tie his shoes without gritting his teeth. I can't believe this, he whispered. George's story isn't unique. It's a road many of us walk without realizing there's a way back. The secret, not magic, not surgery, just nature's simple gifts waiting to heal. And that's what we're about to explore next. how exactly food can rebuild what's broken, one bite at a time. Imagine your joints as a complex machine, like a well-oiled hinge on an old, heavy door. Every time you move, that hinge flexes, bends, carries weight. Now, what keeps that hinge smooth? Cartilage. Cartilage is a special kind of tissue, soft but strong, a natural shock absorber between your bones. Without it, bones grind against each other. Pain, swelling, loss of motion. Now, here's where it gets tricky. Cartilage doesn't get blood flow like other tissues. It's almost like a remote village with no direct road. That means it relies on what's called diffusion, nutrients slowly making their way in, waste moving out. If those nutrients dry up, cartilage starts to break down, like a bridge losing its steel cables, piece by piece. What's causing this breakdown? Inflammation, the body's alarm system gone haywire. When you eat poorly, think excess sugar, processed foods, unhealthy fats, your body floods with inflammatory chemicals. Inflammation eats away at cartilage like acid on metal, but it's not just about what destroys, it's also about what rebuilds. Here's the amazing part. Cartilage isn't dead. It can repair itself if it gets the right building blocks. Think of these building blocks as tiny repair crews: collagen, glucosamine, chondroitin. Collagen is the main structural protein, the scaffolding of cartilage. Glucosamine and chondroitin are the helpers, providing lubrication and elasticity. Without these, your cartilage can't rebuild. It's like trying to fix a house without nails or bricks. And guess what? These building blocks don't just appear magically. Your body makes them from the nutrients you consume. Vitamin C, for example, is a superstar. It helps produce collagen. Without it, collagen synthesis stalls. Omega-3 fatty acids found in fish oil are powerful inflammation fighters. They calm the storm inside your joints. Antioxidants found in colorful fruits and veggies neutralize free radicals. These are unstable molecules that damage cells, speeding up cartilage wear and tear. Now picture your joint as a battlefield. Inflammatory soldiers attacking cartilage walls, nutrients as reinforcements coming in through a narrow supply line. If you send in the wrong supplies, junk food, sugar, empty calories, you weaken your own army. Send in the right foods and you strengthen defenses. Repair begins. Movement returns. It's science, but it's also poetry. Your body can rebuild itself. It just needs the right fuel. And that's exactly what we'll dive into next. Simple foods that fight inflammation and help restore cartilage naturally. Let me tell you about Mary. Mary was like a whirlwind, active, vibrant, always on the go, until one day, after a long walk, her knees protested with sharp pain. "I thought it was just a sign of slowing down," she said. But it wasn't. It was a warning. Mary's first mistake? She reached for painkillers and kept eating the same way, heavy on processed snacks, white bread, and sugary drinks. Her joints were screaming, but she ignored the real culprit. Then Mary learned her first golden rule: cut the sugar, save your joints. Why sugar? Because sugar inflames. It triggers a chemical reaction inside your body called glycation. Fancy word for sugar binding to proteins, including collagen in your cartilage, making it stiff and brittle. Imagine pouring syrup over a smooth machine hinge. It gunked up, slowed down, and wore out faster. That's exactly what happens inside your joints. Mary swapped her sugary drinks for water infused with lemon and fresh mint. She started replacing white bread with whole grains. Weeks later, she told me, "My knees don't sound like rusty gates anymore." Then there's Frank. Frank loved his steaks and fried food. Delicious, yes, but his joints, they felt like they were on fire. Frank didn't know it yet, but his diet was fanning the flames of inflammation. Saturated fats and trans fats found in fried and processed foods are notorious for making joint pain worse. Here's the second rule: feed your joints with anti-inflammatory fats. Think of omega-3s as firefighters rushing to put out a wildfire in your knees. Frank started eating wild salmon twice a week, added walnuts to his salads, and drizzled olive oil over his veggies. He said, "I felt the fire cooling down, like ice on a burn. Finally, meet Gloria. Gloria struggled with stiffness that greeted her every morning like an unwanted alarm clock. She learned that to rebuild cartilage, she needed the right materials: collagen, glucosamine, and chondroitin. But instead of popping expensive supplements, Gloria turned to natural sources. Bone broth became her daily ritual, a warm cup packed with collagen and minerals. She ate more leafy greens rich in vitamin C, vital for collagen production. The third rule: build your cartilage with nourishing foods. Gloria told me, "It's like I gave my joints a second chance, a new foundation." So, what's the takeaway? Cut sugar, fuel up with healthy fats, and rebuild with nourishing collagen-rich foods. Simple changes, big impact, because your joints deserve more than neglect. They deserve a chance to move freely, today, tomorrow, every day. Now, take a moment. Breathe in. This isn't some far-off promise or a miracle pill waiting on a shelf. This is your story, right here, right now. You have the power to change how your body moves, how it feels, how it lives. George, Mary, Frank, Gloria, they're not superheroes. They're just people. People who decided to listen to their bodies, to fight back with what they have. And you can too. Imagine waking up without that heavy weight of stiffness. Imagine walking without counting steps or holding on to walls. Imagine dancing, bending, laughing without the fear of pain cutting you short. It's not about denying age, it's about denying defeat. Your joints aren't a ticking clock. They're a living, breathing part of you. They respond to care, to attention, to the right fuel. You owe it to yourself to give them that chance, to move freely, boldly, without apology. So start small. One meal, one choice, one step, because every journey begins with that first move. And when you reclaim your joints, you reclaim your life. Keep moving, keep fighting, keep living. Because this is just the beginning.